for coming. This morning we are going to get started. My name is Asia Brown. I'm the mayor of the city of Compton. The form, if this is your first time coming, welcome. But the form for this task force is really a group, hands-on working collaboration. Everyone has equal footing, so we make sure that it's a group setting. And we also just had our sheriff's deputies step in the room, and they're actually next up on the agenda. But just really quick, I just want to kind of go over how the meeting is going to flow today. We have a few reports from our local law enforcement agencies, and they'll have about 5 minutes to give a summary of what they're working on, various initiatives relative to gang intervention prevention or child and human trafficking. We'll also have a quick introduction of our town sheriff program that was recently implemented as part of the city's community safety action plan. We also have a brief report from our city attorney's office. We will have Mr. Maurice Miller with Cross Connection give a brief summary of Dept, which is a community policing model that has been very successful in Northern California area. And then we have a brief survey for all of you to fill out. It's just a few questions so that we can get an idea of who is in the room and how we can best assign you and utilize your expertise. And then we'll have a quick question and answer or just reporting from our citizens and residents, and then we will go over an action plan for the next meeting. And just a quick summary, if this is your first time, our first meeting was really all hands on deck. We just kind of did introductions of what's currently going on in the city of Compton to address human trafficking, child trafficking, and also gang intervention and prevention measures. And we were very fortunate to have various representatives from the district attorney's office, from the courts, from probation department, the FBI, of course our Compton sheriffs, and also our school police and our municipal law enforcement services. And this is the first time in Compton where all of our law enforcement agencies have been on one page. And so we are just sharing information, and also we plan to have a joint strategy where we can readily address the issues that are going on in our community in a more efficient and more effective way. And so without much further ado, if I can have the Compton Sheriff's Department come up with a quick 5-minute presentation for an update. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How you guys doing?
Great.
You guys not happy to be here? Good morning.
Good, how are you?
Hi. We're very happy to be here. I'm Deputy Burkbeck. This is my partner, Deputy Owens. Sergeant Jones just stepped out for a second, but he'll be right in. And Captain McCrae is on his way. We are very excited to introduce our Town Sheriff program. It's a new innovative program that we're excited to be a part of. What it does is it puts each of the sheriff's deputies with one of our city council members, and we get to work hand in hand and work on the problems in the city, quality of life issues, and kind of as we're a liaison. I directly am a liaison for the sheriff's department to the city council and to the citizens. And I'm District 3. I am along with Miss Arsenault. I don't see her here. This is Deputy Owens. He's from District 1. And we also have Deputy Irma Reyes, who's District 4, and Deputy Nick Aguirre, who's District 2. They're not here. They have prior engagements. But our program is set to have us come out. We listen to our citizens. We listen to other law enforcement. We're working with Compton School Police, the City Council, everyone coming together so that we can work on bringing Compton back up to where we all know that it could be. We are working on getting with our City Council people to set up a once-a-month meeting to where our citizens can come voice their opinions in one forum, so they're not going to 100 different meetings and hoping that the information gets relayed always. They'll have all of their leaders there at once to voice their concerns, and then we're working one by one to get each of the concerns addressed. That's pretty much our town sheriff program in a nutshell. Do you guys have any questions? Yes, ma'am.
How do we get our districts,
Information?
the one that's over our district, like our streets or whatever, how do we get that personal number to call and inform them if we got some information that will be helpful for our city?
Well, probably about, 2 minutes ago, we just got a cell phone. We don't know the numbers yet. So after today, we'll be able to give you the numbers. It's a 605 number, I know that, and we'll be able to get you that information. What district are you in?
I'm in District 2.
You're in District 2, okay, that's that's Deputy Aguirre. We will get you his information. I do have his email, if you'd like his email, but We should have been more prepared to do. We have a slideshow and everything we could have shown you guys, and it has everybody's information.
Well, we actually have the cell phone number, so we'll make those
Oh.
available at the end of the
She
meeting.
knows it.
Okay, well, Mr. Davis has them as well.
We don't know him yet.
Yeah, we'll pass that out.
Okay, perfect.
I do have that information, so I'll make it available at the end of the meeting.
That's perfect. And you guys can get with us, the cell phones, they're iPhones, so they get text messages and emails. You guys give us your concerns via the phone, and we'll get back to you at our earliest convenience. I know earliest convenience sounds kind of cliche and ambiguous, but that really means as soon as we get it, we can get back to you. Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted you to share with the group about the camp outs.
Oh,
Yesterday, you
yeah,
guys
yeah.
had a camp out, and I thought it was really impressive.
Oh, we had a camp out yesterday for District 4. It was on Bennett and Burris. It's probably 120 people came out. And what we're doing is we're just gonna go to locations where our citizens have told us this is a problem location, and we're just gonna set up our big old sheriff's department mobile command vehicle right in front of the place. We brought a brand new barbecue pit the other day. We're out there barbecuing, flipping burgers and hot dogs, and the citizens are just coming out, and we're letting the bad guys know this is not your town. This is our town. We got this. Thank you. So we did that yesterday. It was so great. And what we're doing is every other week we're going to do a camp out in a different district. So District 4 was first, and I believe District 3, my district, is next in 2 weeks. And we're just gonna keep doing that to let the bad guys know that this is us.
Good.
Thank you.
Yes. Any more questions? No?
I just.
Yes, ma'am.
Somebody asked me that if all this planning that we are doing, is this only for the incorporated areas?
Absolutely not. Each of the districts is flanked by county areas. And I'm in District 3, so if you're south of Compton Boulevard, west of Willowbrook, you're mine. Lucky for you. Any more questions? And make sure that we have our email address. We put it on the roster back there. Email us so you can get onto our email list, because we send out emails and blasts of all kind of information that we have, good and bad information. Not necessarily bad, but you know, if there was a crime that happened, we let you guys know. We don't want, it's transparency here. We don't want to keep anyone in the dark. So get onto our email blast, log on to Nixle so you can get all the information. We're constantly updating. It's 2013, it's the time of technology. We're on it, we're all about it.
Last statement was for me because I don't know how to update my phone, so. But anyone in District 1, I brought cards the old-fashioned way. If you're in District 1, all right, you can just come and get a card from me, and then we can exchange information with pen and paper. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. We have the Compton Unified School Police next on the agenda. If you have a quick report, I understand you have some great information for us.
Hello, I'm Officer Miller with the School Police Department. I've been with the district for quite some time now, and I'm here to let you guys know that the opening of this school year is probably one of the safest openings that we've had in numerous of years. Our arrest rates are down, the crime is down, and kids are learning. So whatever you guys as citizens are doing, it's helping out. About September the 5th, we did a truancy prostitution enforcement detail on Long Beach Boulevard. And the reason we did that is because there are some people on Long Beach Boulevard that's not preventing. They're out there and it's not a safe place for kids to walk to school. So all of those young ladies that are out there when kids are walking to and from school, we dealt with them.
Officer Miller, can I have you use the mic just for the pickup?
I'm sorry.
Thank
Can
you.
you hear me? Yeah, so actually on that detail, we arrested 8 ladies for soliciting near a school. We picked up 1 minor who was a runaway. We reunited her with her mom. We had 1 young lady that had a warrant. And this is all in the area of Long Beach Boulevard and Alondra to prevent walking up and down the street when kids are getting out of school. So it was very successful with the help of the FBI. When they were out there helping us out, it's never ever happens, but there was a kidnapping call, and that's their specialty. So the person that they just got dealt with. So it was just their unlucky day, you know, and, you know, it wasn't near the school or anything like that, but sometimes things happen like that. So we're here to make the kids safe at school. If you guys have any problems near a school or knowing when the kids are walking to and from school and you feel that area is unsafe, call the school police department. I don't have our number is 310-604-6578. And with that, does anybody have any questions about kids in school? If you see any kids out of school loitering, you know, being truant, you're more than welcome to give us a call, and we will pick them up and let their parents know, you know, that they're not in school. We're not doing any more citing for truancy at this time. What we're trying to do is get the kids back in school, making sure that they're, you know, with their counselors, making sure that their parents know they're out of school. Because one thing about it, when these kids are in school, they're safe. And number two, your house is not getting broken into. When we did those massive truancy sweeps, the crime rate in the city of Compton during daytime went down. So we will be doing that again, but we just won't be citing the minors. We'll be getting them back to their parents, back to the school in which they attend.
Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you so much, Officer Miller. I'd also like to introduce Mr. Wu, who is now heading up temporarily the Compton School Police for the Compton Unified School District. If you can just stand up, would you like to say a few words?
Thank you, Mayor. I'd just like to thank the board for giving me this opportunity, and I would like to tell everyone present and to the community, Compton Unified School District and the Police Department is committed to be a full partner in ensuring the safety and protection of the community, especially for our children. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. If I could have our city attorney's office come up and provide a brief report. She has some updates on the various policy initiatives that we put in place to make our city safer and also to make certain that we have the enforcement mechanisms available to enforce crime. Ms. Wrigley. This is our Deputy City Attorney, Ms. Wrigley.
Good morning again.
Morning.
I'm here on behalf of my boss, the City Attorney Craig Cornwell, who unfortunately could not be available this morning. However, I did indicate to him I would bring news of some of the items that our office is currently working on and pursuing in efforts to help particularly suppress prostitution problems within the city. Our office is currently working hand in hand with the Sheriff's Department in Compton on the prostitution as it is congregating around our local motels. And so last night at the city council meeting, we had the council have a first reading on a revision to our existing ordinance concerning public lodging in efforts to strengthen the language in there, strengthen the problems we've encountered and the sheriffs has assisted us with identifying. As with some of our motels, we have lax management issues. We realized that we had not placed any type of prohibitions on partial day or hourly rentals. So the amendments to our current ordinance will address those issues, in addition to strengthening the requirements on their logbooks, prohibiting any type of changes, requiring that they actually make solid attempts to verify identification, etc. And also in conjunction with the Sheriff's Department, which has really helped our office, in the near future, we have presented a request for the council to consider revoking, suspending, or modifying at least one of our motels' operating permits because of the identification of illegal activity on the property and immediately around the property that involves alleged acts of prostitution and other criminal activities. So that'll be presented to the council for consideration. I believe it's in the month of October, a hearing. We have the mayor, as a matter of fact, and the city attorney attended a meeting of the Los Angeles County Board of Supervisors. At the Board of Supervisors meeting, they presented a motion they passed a motion, I guess that's how they would call it, to go to the state legislature, asking the legislature to enhance the penalties for prostitution in general, and also when it involves minors. And our council on September 10th at their council meeting adopted a resolution which affirms and supports the Los Angeles County's effort to get the state legislature to strengthen the laws and the penalties when it comes to prostitution and trafficking, and particularly when it involves minors. Those are just some of the things that our office is working on in conjunction with the council, in conjunction with local law enforcement also. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, that's great news. That allows the city to have stricter enforcement mechanisms against prostitution. Ms. Berkeley, just a quick question that I have is, once the council, or if the council decides to adopt the change in the municipal ordinance and motels are in fact fined, or what is the procedure to remove their operating permit if they decide to continue with hourly rates?
Once the council actually adopts the ordinance, the proposed ordinance on the second reading, and it becomes the law, then we have many options available. We can go the prosecution route in court with citations, criminal prosecution and trial. We could bring the matter before the council, seeking the council's assistance in revoking or suspending or modifying their operating permits, and other administrative procedures we can use. So this will give us another, I guess, weapon in our arsenal.
Okay, thank you. Are there any additional questions? Yes, ma'am.
It's to the city attorney deputy. One of the things that I do know is that LA County Welfare offers vouchers for people that are homeless to go to those hotels. One of the ways that, can you put a stop to that, for them to stop giving vouchers to that particular, because that breeds more people over there. So they provide a voucher. So like if I'm homeless, or anybody in here is homeless, you go there, you need somewhere to stay, they will give you a voucher to go to that hotel, or motel, or whatever it is, over there on Preston.
That's a great suggestion, and that's something that we can work on, and definitely partner with the county to work on some policy changes. So that's a great point. Thank you. And I wrote it down. Are there any additional questions?
Yes, may I?
Yes.
I would like to add something on, on your proposal. I think it is also important, in parallel with giving fines to the prostitute, to look into the ones that own these businesses of prostitution, because we know.
Well, the fines, just to clarify, the fines are for the hotel owners, not the
No,
users.
I'm going back into, into the proposition of diminishing prostitution, on that street. That we also have to look into ways that when that, when there is that demand, we see the product being offered. So we need to also look into those that are using the services. Because I think, you might give a huge fine to, to the ladies, but then we leave the other such.
The John.
Well, one thing, just to give you more information, the resolution that the city adopted in concert with LA County, which is going to the state for review, is to enforce stricter regulations on Johns. Right now, there's a $1,000 fine, and so we're proposing that there be a $10,000 fine, and that there are actually ways to impound their vehicle for 30 days, things that would negatively impact them and stop their quality of life. Things that citizens can do, and that has actually been done in South Los Angeles on Figueroa Avenue. They had a prostitution issue that drastically got reduced, but there was a citizen that started a Twitter account, and they would take pictures of the Johns and their license plate, and they would tweet them, and they actually put them on a website so people can see, you know, the people that are actually using the prostitutes. So there are so many things that citizens can do that necessarily the city can't do, and so this is just a great forum to discuss that. But we are, and just to be certain on our end, at least me personally, I am more interested in making certain that the Johns are penalized, because the women and the children, they are victims of prostitution. And people say that prostitution is a victimless crime, but it isn't. And there are gangs, and we learned this from the sheriff's department, that are actually orchestrating the trade of sex for money. And apparently it's more profitable than drugs at this time. And so there, I believe over 90% of the pimps are actually gang related. And so we are looking at making certain that we can have legal mechanisms in place to attack the issue, which are, in my opinion, the pimps and the Johns. And
Thank you for the information.
you're so welcome. Are there any additional questions? Yes.
Hi, my name is Sonia White. I'm an attorney with the Public Defender's Office, and I actually work in the juvenile court and the SAR court for the girls who are human trafficked. You spoke about the resolution with the board of supervisors and enhancing the penalties for the Johns. Was there anything put in place or discussed about the girls, the minors who are victims? Was there anything to put in place going to the legislature to protect them or to provide them additional services? Because right now they're in juvenile delinquency court, and personally I believe they should be in the penalty court because they are victims. They're not. They shouldn't be in the criminal court system. They should be in the penalty court system. Has that been addressed, or were the minor girls discussed?
Yes, the minor girls were discussed, and actually the district attorney, Ms. Jackie Lacey, she was in attendance and also provided that bit of clarification in order to make certain that the young ladies are housed in a different facility. I understand now that they are usually kept for about a week or sometimes even less than that. And so we discussed ways of having funds actually available to house the young ladies in rehabilitation facilities for a longer duration, possibly 6 months, and also to layer counseling services, job training services, and all those things to get them right back into society. And so those are some of the things that we're looking at to make certain that with the fines that are actually imparted on the Johns or the hotels, that a portion of that will be made for rehabilitation of the young ladies. Okay. If I could have Mr. Maurice Miller give a quick presentation on what BEST is. And this is just a way for us to get some best practices. A lot of times you don't have to reinvent the wheel to be able to do great law enforcement. And so he has some great information for us.
Thank you, Aisha. I just want to start by saying I'm very appreciative of our mayor and how she has stepped up in the early part of her term just to address these issues. I was the executive director of Youth for Christ in the San Jose area. I spent 10 years there, and one of the best collaborations that we had was with the mayor and BEST. BEST stood for Bringing Everyone's Strengths Together. And so probation, the police, parks and recreation, community-based organizations, and the churches came together once a month in the morning, just like this. And they started off with basically the mayor just having a brief introduction, and then the police would get up from each area and they would give a report, and it was called the Pulse of the City. And so they would talk about where the hot spots were, where the gangs were getting more violent, if there was a fight at school, or if there was a fight in the community. It would come to that meeting and it would be presented, and then community-based organizations along with the police would get together and then go and address that issue. One organization would work with one gang, another organization they would work with another gang. And in the next meeting, they would come back with a report on the progress of what happened. And over time, then the city developed grants, and then so the community-based organizations that was working along with the city was able to receive funding. They hired more staff then to just take the program a little bit deeper. At that time, it was amazing because San Jose was the safest small city in the nation. And it all was because we came together and we were able to nip all those issues in the bud before they were able to grow and expand and become a greater problem. And it was just amazing that after the mayor turned out and we voted in another mayor, the best program was not a priority for him. And so he stopped coming to the meetings, and then the police stopped coming to the meetings, and probation stopped, and so it died out. And it's amazing because I was just talking to Eddie earlier today, and Monterey, which is is their Long Beach Boulevard, is now filled with prostitutes. And it's amazing how crime has gone up. And so the importance of a meeting like this, where we all come together, we all start dealing with these issues, and as soon as we see things popping up, to be able to collaborate, go after and just address that problem, will reduce crime almost down to nothing. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I thought that was some valuable information for us to just hear, and also inspiring. We definitely have some work to do in the city of Compton, but I am encouraged that we have great people in the room that are committed toward the same goal and the same vision. So we will now have a quick survey, and I just want to be able to get some information. Actually, the surveys are on your table, so if you all can just take about 5 minutes to fill those out, and that will help us really know and have information of who's in the room, so we know how to create teams. Because our idea is to really create teams around certain issues and have one leader kind of lead it. So I'll give you guys a few minutes. We're going to have a quick breakout group, and if I could have our law enforcement have their own breakout groups, or if you would like to join a law enforcement breakout group, we're going to be addressing gang intervention measures as well as child trafficking and intervention measures. So if you would like to be in a law enforcement breakout group, Deputy Owens, could I have you head one up? Okay, so we can congregate to this side of the room, and he's at the table with the FBI, so I know he'll be okay. I know you guys will check. Okay, and then if we can have the prevention measures for youth or young people, so child prevention measures, i.e. different school initiatives, how we're going to reach our kids and our parents to make sure they know about the different dangers of child trafficking as well as gangs. We'll have you on this side. And if I can have Kevin Monk head up one for gangs, and then if I could have Satcher Zarita for the school board head one up for children. Thank you. Okay, everyone, we're going to have, each group will have 15 minutes. And so for my law enforcement side, I would like you all to strategize maybe like a gang, I don't want to say injunction, but different strategies so that if we have a curfew, that maybe one policy measure, maybe a way to do like a round all the gangs up and do an intervention. So kind of think about different ways. You guys are the crime experts, so you can think about ways that you want to address the issue. But I would like everyone to focus on 2 main initiatives, just 2, and then kind of lay out what that's going to look like and then what you need for us to make it happen. Okay? And then for my school initiatives, if we can come up with one campaign to inform parents of the dangers of child trafficking, and then also gang recruitment, and focus on the middle schools, and elementary, and of course high schools, but make it agency. Okay. So if you can introduce your team, what your initiative is, what's the action plan, and when is your subcommittee meeting? You got that? You got it.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Alrighty, our team is law enforcement, and we were assigned specifically to attempt to bring intervention and prevention for gangs, and how would we go about addressing the intervention and prevention for gangs. What we came up with is one of the greatest interventions could be a Big Brothers program. So that way Big Brothers can mentor and help and assist. So what we came up with is coming up and addressing the gang problem with our males with the Big Brother program. And then we had a great idea and one of our participants said, but the young ladies are just as aggressive
Yes.
and just as bad as our young men. So we said what we will do is include the young ladies. So our program will be geared toward young men, but we will not leave out the young ladies. So what we are going to do is we are going to have a breakout meeting on the 16th of October at 6:30 p.m. at our Youth Activities League. And we're going to be bringing in partners, CBOs, upstanding community citizens, and men and women that just want to get involved that can possibly help us formulate this program where we can begin to address the needs of the young men and the young ladies within the gangs. We found out that these young men and young ladies believe that gangs are secure. They give them security. They give them family, values, and all these type of things that we wouldn't think that a gang does. And so in order to pull them away from that perception of gang violence and family of the gang, we need to make sure that our young people will receive the same thing when we pull them away. And so we know that our program will bring and provide activities, field trips, and also mentorship from men and women that will assist our young ladies and our young men in becoming great citizens and walking away from the gangs.
Great, great job. Let's go ahead. Yeah. Thank you so much. So, a quick summary. So, when is the breakout meeting? Because I was holding the
It's going to be this Wednesday, Wednesday, October 16th, 6:30 at the YAL, 700 North Alameda. And if anyone is a CBO that deals with young people, all righty, you can come to the table, but we will investigate you because we are actually bringing our children.
That's right.
And the rule is, if you're not comfortable with this CBO working and you're giving your children to this CBO, then this CBO probably will not work. All right, and so that is the rule that we've come up with. And so if I'm not comfortable putting my son or daughter in that program, then we're not going to use that program.
Okay, great.
But everyone's welcome initially.
Thank you. Y'all did an excellent job. Can I have my next group? And what do you guys call? Turn down on human trafficking?
Turn down.
Turn down, excuse me.
Okay, I had a really great group with various backgrounds and really concerned about children. So the national campaign that we remember most is Just Say No. So we want to do something on a scale of the Just Say No. Everybody still remembers that, and I think that campaign has been gone for 20 years. And our charge was to develop a campaign to inform parents about human trafficking and gangs. And in our group, someone wanted to know why we included gangs. And as the mayor said on more than one occasion, now there's not much money in drugs, but so our gangbangers are now pimping. So that's why the two correlate together now. But we want to speak to our target audience, and that is parents and school-age children. So we wanted to speak in their language. We know it's not grammatically correct, but we're turned down on human trafficking and gangs. And that's why we chose to use the term. Our program would include parenting classes, and not just one or two, but a series of 7 to 10 classes, because we realize that sometimes it takes several meetings in order for participants to trust you. So that's why we determined that. And we would do age-appropriate programs. So in elementary school, as well as high school and middle school, will develop age-appropriate PSAs, mini commercials, role plays, and we'll do brochures that actually say to a parent, these are the signs that your child is being recruited, or these are the signs that your child is involved in human trafficking. We'll have classroom mentors who go in and speak directly to children, and we realize there are examples on both sides of the spectrum. There are people who successfully got out of that life, and then there are people who could have gotten into that life but are successful. So our very young children, we want to provide very positive role models so they aspire. As we get to high school, we will include some of the examples of folks that beat the odds and came out of that. But for our young children, we want them to have impressions of very professional and great people. Back to school, we'll use every opportunity to talk about human trafficking. We'll talk at back to school PTA meeting. We'll have all hands on deck, all of our classified employees. We did a survey recently to talk about who was the most trusted employee at the district, and it's the custodian. And the reason that is because they often live in the community and they interact with parents. So we're going to make sure that we train all our staff, all our employees, and we're also going to train them not just to interact, but to be able to look and identify, and that way we can move on and discuss with parents. We have school in-house social workers and probation officers will all be involved in the campaign. We'll put visuals, posters around the schools, as well as after we've rolled out the program and everybody understands what we're talking about, we'll use our Connect Ed system, our automatic call system to say, hey, caution your children when going through or on their route to school. So these are the kind of things that we'll do. We talked about promotional items. The Just Say No, I think they had a red band. So we'll look for sponsors to provide T-shirts or pencils or those kind of things that make people think about their subconscious. And if we don't find a sponsor, we'll identify a color that is associated with human trafficking. We'll say on Fridays is turn down on human trafficking. Everybody wear their pink shirt or everybody wear their blue shirt. We'll have art programs, and in the elementary levels, we'll do coloring books to reinforce when we don't have classroom mentors. So in addition to the visuals around the school, the PSAs, and of course, some of these things reach across all grades from K through 12th grade. But here, we'll talk about warning signs, and everything will be age appropriate. Our next meeting is gonna, and most importantly, we wanna talk about accountability and measurables. You know, people don't take you serious unless you can tell them what this program has done for you, how many people it's deterred, or how many people now know about human trafficking that didn't when you started the campaign. And we'll have our next committee meeting, I believe my committee said on Thursday, next Thursday.
At 3 o'clock, yes.
At 3:30.
3:30.
Because we want to allow parents who, if they would like to participate, be able to come after school. So, thank you.
Next Thursday is
Our
What
location.
Thursday? What Thursday? Next Thursday?
Next Thursday. And actually, we can meet in the boardroom at the school district, since we're talking about children's issues. So next Thursday at 501 South Santa Fe.
That's the second?
That's the third.
That's the third?
October 3rd.
At 3:30.
3:30. Okay?
Thank you. Thank you. Let's give them a hand. Can I have my next group? Do you guys have a name yet?
They stole our name.
And what's my law enforcement group? I need you guys to have a name. You can think about it. I'll come back to you. The reinforcers. The enforcers, I like that. You guys can think about it and let me know. Okay.
Yeah.
Good morning. First, I wanted to say that Pastor Owens did an excellent job, along with Sandra Zarita. You guys did an excellent job. My name is Isaac Walker. We had a beautiful group presentation. We were, I believe, gang prevention, and I want to start from the bottom to the top, and then I'm going to bring it over to this young man to my right, your left. We started off and named our group BLB. You can steal it, you can use it. It's called Bring the Love Back / to Compton. So we say / because Gardena might want to use it, Linwood might want to use it, and they can use it. So it's Bring the Love Back to Compton. Compton, first of all, we wanted to acknowledge our problem. Who are we targeting? Very important to know what age group. Is it an intervention or is it a prevention? Wanted to know if it was young kids, teenager, youth. So it's very important if we acknowledge what target group for these young people, male or female, are we targeting? Then we wanted to come up with resolutions. I will do number one, then we'll hand over to you. Number one is develop more programs, art programs, for our youth to reach them at an early age, / continue on doing the things that we're already doing in Compton. We have a lot of tutoring programs, and one of the things we have to do is make sure we know who's doing what in our community, because we could be doing the same thing and we might not be able to reach some of the youth, but if I know you, I can call you and contact you just to know what we're doing. All right, and I believe we are number 2 right now.
So my name is Kevin Monk, and I'm a resident also here in the city of Compton, and I also oversee the workers, the union workers here in Compton. And one of the things that SEIU wanted to bring to the table and bring to the Compton was support, financial support, and whatever we can do to make sure that the vision and the city are strong enough to implement programs. And so SEIU has committed to helping the council and the mayor with any financial needs that we can do. I think somebody mentioned T-shirts.
We just found our sponsor.
So we don't got that kind of money. I'm just saying, but there are things that we are looking to participate in. That's donations for Little League. I mean, contributions for Little League baseball, contributions to the soccer team. We want to be a viable part of Compton. We're looking to make sure that Compton has everything it needs to succeed. Also, I'm a member of a church here in Compton, and my pastor is here today. He's not going to want me to say much about this, but at our group, we talked about a lot of different programs that the city needs. And at our church, we offer like project restoration, where we're dealing with probationaries and parolees that come out, and we offer training and teachings where we teach family, we teach leadership, we teach relationships, and those are the things that any person who comes out of prison would need, things like that. And then employment opportunities. So at the church, we offer that. And so what we're going to be doing, and those are free to the community. So we're going to be offering that as a part of just bringing it all together. Most of the time, parolees and probationaries, they just need another chance. They're not just criminals to be thrown out, to the wolves, but they need another chance. Also, we talked about prevention and intervention, as Isaac talked about. Well, we've already partnered with Victory Outreach, and we're already going out into the community talking to gang members, active gang members, potential gang members. So we have a lot of things already in place. A lot of people just don't know about them. So we're going to focus on connecting everybody, making sure that everybody knows what's going on. And so Captain McCrae came up with a great idea where we would just email him everything that we have to offer. And he's going to do a master list and disseminate that back to us so that we'll know where the resources are that we need. And I think that's one of the major things. There's a lot of good things going on here in Compton, but everybody don't know where it is and what it is. And so everybody just running around looking for stuff, and most of it is already here. So we're going to focus on getting a master list of all the resources that we have so that if something happens, if a murder happens at 12 o'clock at night, we're going to know who to call to go bring comfort to that family. We have a lot of stuff in place, and it's going to all begin with getting the information to Pastor McCrae, who's going to disseminate it back to us. And after that happens, we're going to start our own meetings. Like you guys have dates, we have dates coming. So that's kind of like where we are right now.
Thank you.
So just point of housekeeping. Did everyone turn in their forms? Okay, great. And we'll have a mailing list of everyone within the collaborative. If you don't want your information shared with the group, then just specify that, and we'll just keep it internally. We won't, give it to anyone outside of the organization. And then also, just a point of reference, there's a lot of different things going on in the community, and that's one of the things that we're focusing on in the city is bringing all the nonprofits and all the churches together. And so we have a meeting scheduled for November, and we'll make certain that the group knows. But our goal is to be able to have all 200 churches in the city of Compton come together and provide a report of all the programs and services that they currently offer to the citizens. The same thing with our nonprofits. And then we'll be able to have one big master list and all the information that is currently actually going on in the city. So that's something that we're working on, and that date is forthcoming. Melissa will have that date for us next time. But we're just actually looking for a facility large enough to hold about 300 people. So we have that many churches, so we're working on that.
2201 North Long Beach Boulevard is a banquet hall, a new one.
Oh, what?
It'll hold 370 people.
Thank you, Mr. Hollyfield, and we will use that location.
You will
There
work
it
on
is.
that.
Thank you so much. We were working with the college, and they have a lot of construction going on over there, so parking was the issue. And so if we can have it there, we'll get that date going. Thank you so much. And the next meeting will be the third Thursday of the month. I know we had it on a Wednesday this time, but I was actually traveling last week and I really wanted to be here for the meeting. So we will keep this meeting set in stone. I just had prior travel arrangements. And I just want to thank everyone for coming, for participating, for partnering, and for being committed to what we're doing here in the city of Compton. This is, I'm really excited about this, and I think it's going to have phenomenal results. I'm looking forward to all the initiatives that are coming in place, and part of my job will be able to recruit and make certain that we have the resources available to help with these organizations. And then just the point of information, the city and the Sheriff's Department and the school district recently applied for a safety grant, which will allow us to be able to fund our community policing initiatives. That grant was actually just submitted last week. We have a few amendments, but we're very hopeful that just because of the need that we have in our community, that will be highly competitive. So we'll have some updates on that as well at the next meeting. And so I need a few people. If you know that you're really great at recruiting people, if you're great at communicating information, make certain that if there are key people that just come to your mind that you think will be a great fit for this team, to bring them. We don't want a whole lot of people that aren't working. We want people that you know will roll your sleeves up and really contribute, and also provide great input and resources, and of course have a time commitment. So I will see you all next month, and I thank you all for coming. We have sandwiches on the side if you want to grab one on your way out. Thank you guys.